My name is Roy Masters, for the new listeners just joining us, and this program is about whatever's wrong with you in your family life. And if you'll listen very attentively for the next 28 minutes, you'll see through me speaking to other people with problems similar to yours exactly what your problems are about. And I must say, as a point of warning, that it can be very disturbing. So with that, I'll take my first call. Hello, this is Roy Master speaking. You have a fear of success, you say?
Yes. I don't know exactly what I was going to tell you. I just know that I have this lack of motivation.
Have you ever been successful?
No.
So
I'm young. I'm only 23, and I'm just realizing that I'm so burnt out, and I just.
in other words, have you been pushed? Have your parents, school, something in the background pushed you?
I feel like I lost it all in school. You know, I really identified with one guy that you talked to on another tape with the same kind of thing. Just kind of, I was in music also, and I know that my mom put that into me. And
in other words, you don't know your own goals and dreams from hers. You think you end up doing what she wants you to do, and
well, I've really gotten away from all that. You know, I've been up at the ranch, and I've just I gotten away from it. And I do have a little business in Louisiana with some friends.
What kind of business is it?
This is a recording studio.
Uh-oh. Well, all right, that could be good. It could be a good business.
Yeah, well, you know, it could be, and we're all interested in getting into other things too, and, you know, getting away from those influences. But right now, I get this real heavy anxiety, you know, all the time. Just get caught in my head.
Well, what kind of thoughts come with it? I mean,
well, it's always just like a mental ping pong game.
Well, tell me about you know, who's playing.
Excuse me?
Who's playing? Who are the players? What are the players doing?
Well, it's
you got to give me some details.
Okay.
But see, if you're in the music business, let me just stop you from here before we spout off in that direction. If you're in the music business, then it must have some connection to your mother, who put the idea into your mind that, you know, to excel in that field.
Yeah. I've seen that.
So therefore, it won't be you that will be achieving this. In other words, whatever's in your mind requires unhealthy motivation to achieve it. So that even if you do achieve it, it won't be you that achieves it. It will be your mother achieving her own will through you.
Right. See,
is that you're afraid of? Are you afraid of that?
I've seen all that, and, you know, I've really gotten away from music, but I think I at first got away from it in a real willful way. But now I understand.
Then you're not really away from it. You see, if you're just away from the music, and you haven't really solved the problem, says, well, I'm not going to do what my mother says. I rebel against, and I'm not interested in music. You give it up, and you do something else.
See, what it's always revolved around for me is, you know, I got caught in the church for a while, and it's always been this right and wrong image.
You don't know how to be right without being rigid.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
I know. You see, in other words, you're building a right around a wrong.
Exactly.
And the wrong is hating your mother. And the wrong of hating your mother has created a guilt towards your mother, and the guilt makes you want to please her and to do to allow her to will through you, you see, to make up for the guilt.
Yeah, and I have a lot of trouble standing up to people, and, you know,
for the same reason,
being worried about it.
Anytime you have a willful woman or willful person like your mother, you react the same way. You end up being a people pleaser, letting them put their will into you for approval.
Right.
And the approval is only the motivation to be a donkey for her purpose.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yeah. See, I see all that, just, you know, clear as day.
And the religion was trying to get away from that, because there's a certain about sin. There's a very sinister sin thing in all this mother-motivated ambition, get to the top, you know, going to hell in a handbasket, you know, disregarding conscience and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And so therefore you went back to religion, and religion was an attempt to cover up the guilt of hating your mother and being ambitious and that whole geshmear.
Finally, the pain just got so bad that I drifted away from that. Finally,
well, I'm right about that, huh?
Excuse me?
I'm right about the church being just a cover.
Yeah.
Making you just rigid over something negative.
See, but now I seem to have that same, you know, I see the same spirit still.
Yes, but you still resent your mother. That's the problem. And as long as you resent your mother, you're going to be locked into her. So now you're right back to music again, because it's what you know best.
Uh-huh.
It's what you've been trained to do, right? All the while you were pleasing her.
Right.
Right there?
Yeah.
Because you had to get back to music again. It was the only honest thing to do. Follow that? It was honest because when you got away from it, it was dishonest. It was that plastic church thing, right?
Right.
So now you got right back to getting now you're back to the fear of succeeding, because if you succeed in this business, it will only be serving a will that is not your own, a purpose that is not a divine purpose, not a purpose that you were not created for.
So I've really been getting away from it for the wrong...
Exactly. You see, but you're back to dealing with the problem. And that's the reason why you're afraid to succeed, because deep down inside you know success is failure.
Yeah, and see, what my brain...
Hold it right there.
Okay.
Success would be failure there, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yeah, because I'd just be...
Success would... And that's why you're afraid of success.
Right.
Because you know it means that you failed. Your mother has succeeded.
I feel like everything I try to think about doing this business or that business, or just going and working.
But you can't get away from this business. You've got to deal with you still got to deal with your mother in this business. For instance, maybe you're destined to be in this business. Maybe you're destined to be a great musician or violinist.
See, I don't really care about that, though.
But I know. But in other words, as long as you resent your mother, you're locked into her will, and you cannot do what you were created. Now try to understand the rule of thumb here, that you were created to serve a purpose. And you were created by a creator. And his will should be your will. Isn't that the prayer of Christ?
Yes.
My will, thy will be done, not my will. But there's a will of the world too. And guess where that will of the world operates? It operates through women. Right?
Right.
And men call on that will to service that whatever they think is their will. Of course, it would never... Men's will is not their own will. It's always the will of their mothers, through the failing of all fathers, ever since the beginning of time, right?
Yep.
You see that, don't you?
I see it.
Your father needed his ego stroked and his ambitions stroked, and he needed the will of your mother to support whatever he thought was his will. Never was. It was always her will in him crying out back to her to support him, right?
I've seen
She's done the same thing to you. And you'll probably be afraid of getting married for the same reason.
Yeah.
You're afraid of being married?
I did the same thing with girls. I just stopped dating for 6 years.
I know, because you'll begin to afraid of women.
That's it.
Because the woman would just simply replace your mother in the scene.
Yeah, I was afraid of being dominated.
Ah, yes. See? Now let's come back to the point that I'm trying to make.
Okay.
Having settled all the little sideshows. There's only two wills. There's this inner will that you were created to serve. And you'll never be happy until you respond accordingly, right?
Right.
And everything else is failure, and something inside you gives you to know that, right?
Right.
Okay. I hate to use those words, right, but it's just, it sounds like you're following along like a robot.
Yeah, well, I track.
You're tracking with me, all right. Now, there's this other will that's on earth as it is in hell. And this is what you're into. And you're born subject to it, and you're struggling to be free from it. Now, you're afraid of success because that success would spell the death of you, right?
Right.
So...
See, that's what happens with... I wanted to ask you also about, in the meditation, I've been having some, I don't know if it's exorcism or what, but it's pretty violent.
Well, you got a lot of rage coming to the surface.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Well, we won't talk about that now, because that'll scare my new listeners away.
All right. I just had never seen it.
Yeah, well, it's coming. There's this general rage that you feel.
Yeah, but my whole general attitude is always negative, and I know that comes from the same thing.
Yes, but you still resent your mother.
Okay.
And you need your mother, but you need women, but you resent them.
Right.
And your need, actually, to resent, see, draws you back to women, because you're lost as a person cut adrift from their own ground of being. The only thing you're made of is woman. You're made of a woman. And don't you understand that you have to serve the woman in order to exist as a will, what appears to be a will of your own, which deep down inside, beyond that, isn't your own will? That's why you're afraid of success.
Yeah, I see that.
See, yeah, that is
exactly what it is, because I feel like I'm not in control. I don't have...
Right, but you're made of women. And your resentment towards your mother and your father has separated you from the ground of your being. So you could, as long as you harbor any hostility towards your mother and your father, see, your resentment towards your father separates you from your identity as a man and connects you with your resentment. Resentment does two things. With the female, it has a different effect as with the male. Resent your father and you reject your identity, your male identity. Resent your mother and she becomes your identity. She becomes your life force. She becomes the ground of your being, and you become made out of her, and you have to do her will. You have to do what she wants in order to get any love, approval. And approval is the life, is like existing. You see what I mean? You have an ego, and all souls need approval, love, in order for it to exist. Otherwise you seem to die. Except you are made out of the wrong spirit. You're made out of the wrong side of you're made out of that which is from the wrong side of the force. You see what I'm trying to tell you?
Yeah, because that's what it feels like.
You see?
Like dying.
It feels like dying, and yet you yearn for a woman. You probably have fantasies with women. You see, you still yearn for the ground of that being, but the resentment is what? Your resentment toward your mother and your father, that is separating you. That emotional state separates you. It separates the consciousness, your own spirit that could be joined to the spirit of good. It keeps it from good.
See,
Look. This is one more thing.
Okay.
Resent not evil, overcome it with good. Christ said, he said, resist not evil, but the correct word is resent not. That's how you must resist evil, but so to resent not, that is the correct form of resistance. Got it?
Got it.
You must resist it, because if you don't resist it, it will overcome you. There must be some form of resistance. Obviously, you must resist evil, but so that if you don't resist evil, it's something wrong with that statement, isn't there?
Right, yeah.
There would be something wrong with it, because the Bible teaches you to resist it. It teaches it, and Jesus says, resist it not. Obviously, he doesn't mean that. He means resent it not. See, if you don't resent it, you resist it. That's how you resist it.
I've always tried to resist it.
You don't resist it in a wrong. Don't resist it in a wrong way.
Yeah.
And no one has ever told you exactly that one word you needed to hear. Now that sickness is in your mother. It was created. Your father married her. Your father married your mother for the reinforcement for his ambitions. You see.
Yeah, I see that.
And a woman like that who is cultivated to serve a man's ambition, her only purpose in life is to motivate men and to be worshipped for it. Men, see, you had to fail. You had to be converted to needing her services for her to give you what she was taught as love. Follow that?
Yes.
Support for men's ambition. You had to have ambition in order for you to need her, period. Follow that?
I follow.
So she put that ambition in you. She pushed you. And she pushed you away from serving the purpose for which you were made.
See, yeah, I understand, and I've
and you resented it. But you resented it.
Yeah.
That's the key.
But now, and I don't want to get a quick fix from you or anything, but
I hear you're not listening to me.
I do. I understand.
No, I can hear you're not listening.
But
you're not really got your ear to the ground. You're not hearing what I'm saying to you. One thing. What is the one thing I've told you to do?
Not resent anymore.
Exactly.
I see that
The question is, do you resent your mother?
Well, see, I thought I didn't, and now I see I must have still been resenting her, or I wouldn't have been.
You resent your condition. You resent your fear of success. You feel driven towards success, and you resent this being driven. That's resenting your mother in you.
Right.
Got it. Goodbye. Adds fuel to the fire right there.
Okay.
Okay. I hope he understands that. Hello, this is Roy Masters. Oh, hello, this is Roy Masters speaking. You're on the air. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm calling to ask you about homeschooling.
Oh, I don't know much about it.
Okay. Well, but I've heard you talk before, and you've told a lady before that they shouldn't put in a child until 8.
I feel that you want to keep away your children from the negative, malevolent influences of public schools and private schools. You want to keep them under 8 hours a day. You don't need them 8 hours a day under somebody else's influence. You don't want them developing your child's character for you.
You see, because I just experienced that. I've kept my boy out. He's 6 years old, and he said he wanted to go to school, and probably because, you know, the neighbors' kids are going to school and whatever.
Right.
I took him in, and he did not want to stay. But I could see, you know, that it was, I mean, the teacher was just running from one child to another, and it was in a one-to-one basis.
Now, the way the school system is today, and the caliber of teachers that, I'm sure there's occasionally a nice one, but the caliber of teachers are so low, in my opinion, that, and they remind me of old washerwomen, you know, yakking across their clotheslines in Brooklyn somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
that's the caliber of, how I see the average teacher today. And the children see that. They see more than that. They see hell. They see monsters. And it scares the heaven out of them, and they want to get out of that classroom as fast as they can.
Yeah, see,
Why do you think kids are scared of going to school? It's because they see this monster. They see monsters in their teachers. They see hell.
Well, he didn't want to stay. He just wanted to, I just want to go home. And she told me, well, you're just going to have to leave him, and if he cries...
No way, shape, or form. You don't want... He wanted to go to school. Now, you know, now you took him to school. He sees what's there.
Yeah.
He sees why you don't want him to go to school.
Yes.
Take him the hell out of there.
Yeah, I did. I just brought him home. I said, no, I'm not going to leave him crying.
I mean, I know the school teachers, the school system think I'm crazy for talking this way. They don't see their own sickness.
Well, see,
They don't see their own madness. They don't see it.
that's what's happening with me, is that I work at a school, but still, you know, they think I'm silly. They've never heard of people, you know, really
Tell you what, maybe you should leave your name at the foundation, and we should have a little mailing list of names of people who live in the various areas of the country, and get you people together so you can start your own little homeschool thing.
I would love that. And the only reason I put him in was because I have to work, Roy. I have 4 children. I've been divorced.
Well, you can do homeschooling in the evening.
Well,
It's a wonderful way of being with your children.
Yes, yes. I was just very confused. My heart is pounding so fast. I just felt like, God, I can't leave him here, and I just.
No, I tell you, the system is disgraceful.
I guess I didn't realize.
It's like
until I
Russia.
went in there.
That's not the educational system. This is not education. That learning isn't pleasant. I sent Joshua goes to school, but it's my own school. So, and Jessica goes to school, and it's not much of a school, but it's a beginning, and he loves to go to school. We don't pressure him.
You know, and it seemed very boring too. It just seemed like she gave him a lot of papers and had to do a lot of repeatings of one letter.
Yeah, and he starts to pressure him into doing that junk. He's finished.
Yeah, and then after he was finished, and he seemed like he was bored, and then she went from one.
So he should be. If he's normal, he would be bored. Now, what else is new? They think the kids have got the problem. It's the teachers, it's the schools that's the problem. They just don't know how to educate.
Yeah.
They know how to brainwash, confuse, bamboozle, but they do not know how to educate. No way, Jose. Okay?
Okay, thank
Bye.
you.
And she says, okay, no way, Jose. Okay, we'll take another call, but meanwhile, may I suggest 3 cassettes and a book to teach you to meditate, so you can learn to deal with the horror that is this life. Listen, we've got the best country in the world, and yet we're little islands of sanity in it. What's left of what democracy is all about. What we have is a bunch of plastic robots out there who get married and divorced and become parents and confound their kids. Ambitious little rodents, nibbling their way to the top. I'm very, very sort of disgusted when I see the world around me. I'm not angry, I'm not contemptuous, I just see what I know you see. That people aren't in business, they're not in the educational system, they're not doctors or psychiatrists because they really care for human beings. But they're really in it for some little selfish little gratification. But they pretend, oh, how do you do, Mrs. Jones, and how do you do, Mrs. Smith? It looks so sympathetic. And when the preacher greets you at the church door, it's the same thing. just playing little games, just playing little games. There's something in them that's sort of a waiting vulture. And the educational system is not in business for your child, in my opinion. Very few teachers love what they're doing. They love feeling important. I remember my teachers. I don't remember my teachers loving what they're doing. I remember how they loved feeling important and confusing me with how clever they were and how stupid I was for not understanding them, and sort of pressuring me rather than coaxing me and making the work interesting, sort of luring me on through being interesting and patient. It's not the way it is. We have a lot of mad devils out there that have no tolerance for the natural growth of your child, but we have a lot of mad devils out there that want to put their will into your child and make your child a slave of this world. You know, a slave for the factories and a slave for the mills and slave for the taxes. And if you conform and if you get through this dung heap, if you survive, you don't have any character left at the end. And this characterless creature gets married to some other characterless creature. The two characterless creatures make each other feel comfortable. And the little children are born with this ambitious, characterless creature, or this total failure, the rebel, snorting coke and cocaine and stealing and robbing. There's two characterless creatures, one that's conformed and become an educated person, but with no soul. One who's rebelled and hasn't learned anything, no soul. But some of you still have, some of you are still alive in there, and you can hear what I'm saying. And some of you, you've been destroyed by school. Even if you're educated, you're not happy with your lot, and you remember you couldn't learn in school, and you felt like you were stupid, and maybe you didn't learn, and you thought you were inferior, but you're not. And to you two types of people, I'm making this appeal. Get the cassettes and the book, and we'll strike the balance. We'll show you what education is really like. It'll take you 10 or 12 years to recover from what was done to you, but you will recover, and you can start now. You will start right away. There'll be hope for you. And there's even hope for you listening to my program, right? You know I'm telling you the truth. What you've got to get rid of is the resentment towards authority. That's what keeps authority alive in you, the effect that they have on you. To keep striving to be an apple polisher, or to keep rebelling and not being able to learn. That resentment is the essence that keeps your problems alive. It's the energy, it's the battery, it's the fuel for all your character aberrations and your guilt and fears and disappointments and anxieties and drinking and smoking. All right? We'll take our call. Hello, this is Roy Master speaking. You're in the air. Hello?
Some point about the mother's influence of food on...
Oh, yes, okay. We got 5 minutes.
Yes, I've come to realize the effect that the food has had, and all these years my mom was going through the food into me just like she did with my dad.
Right.
And now that I've come to realize that, my question is, can I still eat? I live at home, and I'm...
Can you eat without being influenced? You see how many people have problems? You'll find people in hospital who have to be force-fed because when they eat they feel guilty, and the guilt makes them sick, and the conflict is so great that they start to die because they associate food with guilt, and if they eat they feel guilty, and the only way they can not feel guilty in their mind is not to eat, and they die, and they have to be put in hospital and be fed intravenously, and that's, it's a very common problem.
I just don't want that. I realize, everything that food is made, it's all, my mom slices up. You give me an apple, it's sliced, or she take an egg and she'll throw it.
She has to put something of herself into it.
Right.
She can't let you take an apple off a tree because she wouldn't be in it, and she wouldn't be into you.
Am I eating that food, or am I fooling myself to think, I realize it and I can still...
No. Have you heard the theme of this program today? Have you been listening?
Yeah, to most of the program.
And have you heard the theme of the program?
Yes, resist, not resent.
That's right, resist without resentment. Resent not evil, and that way you can resist it. So if you resist it in a wrong way, it ends up getting inside you. And you'll see that your relationship with your mother is one of resentment, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And even though you're eating something now, you're eating a little piece of your mother. She's still around, obviously.
Yes.
You're implying that she is.
Yes.
Are you living at home?
Yeah, I'm trying to get out.
How old are you?
25.
Yes, and if you're not careful, though, even though your mother's not around, your mother's inside you.
Hmm.
And you'll probably tease yourself to eat. In other words, you can't get away from the influence of your mother.
Well, when I cook, I was living on my own for a while. I try to make simple food and
Yeah.
that influence. But
But did you?
yes, I thought I did.
Yes.
I'm back here, I guess. I had to say.
But there was, can you eat your mother's food with a good conscience, without eating your mother's poison, meaning without being influenced by your mother's will? That's where the problem you have. Every time she slices an apple and cores an apple and put raisins in it and put cinnamon in it and cooks it in an oven and ruins the apple, you know what I mean, and gives you a baked apple instead of an apple from a tree,
Yeah.
put something of herself in it. You feel every time you eat that, or you're obligated to eat it, you seem to be, more suggestible to her will, right?
Hmm.
Yes, the only reason for that is because you, as a child, you've always known that, but you resisted, your perception has caused you to resent it, and that's what's made it work. That's what's made her will work inside you and cause this conflict.
Hmm.
Just when you're home with your mother, say, Mother, you don't really need to spend all your time cooking.
Yeah, I
And
tell her that now. Let me fix you something to eat.
I know it's her nature. Your father's conditioned her to that.
Uh-huh.
I did that to my wife, and it's taken me a long time to teach her not to do it.
Hmm.
And then as an adult, you're going to have to teach this woman, your mother, you're going to lead her by the hand in the right direction.
Hmm.
And the main thing is, don't resent her for doing that, and eat what she prepares. If she insists on doing it, don't physically stop her,
Hmm.
and just don't resent her for doing it. And that's all there is to it. Either she'll see what she's doing wrong, it take a long time, and she'll see what she's doing wrong only if you face her with it by not reacting to it. I'm looking at the clock and I want to say some more things to make a more complete idea, but I haven't got the time.
Okay.
All right?
Thanks a lot, Ray.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Wish I had more time to, when you're looking at the clock, you have a deadline, it's difficult to complete an idea, but you'll join me in my next program, I hope, with your various questions. And remember the thought I want to leave you with is watch for resentment. That's the hypnotic emotion, and it reinforces everything that's wrong with you. And you can never draw a sane breath as long as you're resentful towards anything. And people who want to control you, they know that. The book, the cassettes, 3 of them, to teach you to meditate. The cost is $33.50. Add $5 if you're writing from Europe. It includes the mailing if you're writing from continental United States. If you can't afford that, I'll give it to you for whatever you can afford, because that's the way we do things. The Iconoclast magazine, if you want to support the foundation and have an enjoyable magazine come into your home every month, $36 a year, $78 a year from Europe.